Do you suffer trauma? Have you suffered childhood trauma? Have you gone through trauma as an adult? Do you have complex post-traumatic stress disorder? Today I'm going to talk about how art can help heal the trauma in our lives. And I want to dedicate this video to Karen with love. I just got off a live, so my voice is very hoarse because I've been talking for an hour and a half straight. And she suggested that I do a video on how art can help with trauma, help you heal through your trauma. And I'm going to talk about that right now. Hi, I'm Sandra Wyllie. This is my mental health channel where I talk about my own personal struggles, having borderline personality disorder, complex post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety and depression. I talk about narcissism and my abusive narcissistic mother. I talk about schizophrenia, and I wrote a childhood memoir, Life with My Schizophrenic Father. I also talk about my autistic son in that. I talk about my therapies and how my therapist 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲𝗄 me, and I've had sexual relationships and they exploited me. I've written books about that, but I only come on as a former patient of almost 20 years. I am not a licensed therapist. I do not hold a degree in psychology, so I cannot diagnose you or give you a professional opinion. And all I ask in turn of you is your kindness, respect, and honesty in the comments. Now, how I got started in doing my YouTube was doing karaoke. If you watch those old videos 5 years ago, I still have some of them up, where all I did was karaoke. Where I had all these wigs. I had blue wigs, purple wigs, redhead wigs, short hair, long hair, down to here. I had all these costumes. I had ball gowns. I had prom dresses. I had wedding gowns. I painted my face like a warrior and had weapons in my hand, daggers and swords and knives. And I'd come on, and not only would I sing the song, but I would enact the song. How many people remember MTV? I want my MTV. Well, on MTV, they would do music videos. So the singers or bands would come on and not just sing their song, but they would perform like a little act or a little story that went with the song. And that's what I used to love MTV. How many of you from that era that love MTV? And it was just much more than a band or a singer getting up there singing. They were performing the song. They were making the song come to life. They were telling a story behind the song. And this was very, very therapeutic for me. This is how I started out on the YouTube 5 years ago. And there's no way, when you're suffering as much as I have suffered in my life, from my past abuse from my parents, to my past abuse from my psychologist that 𝗟𝗔'd me, ASSAULTED, sexually, and from my son being brutally beaten and hospitalized. It's just the trauma was unbearable for me. So when I come on and I put on a costume and I act out a song, and I dance seductively, it's very hard to, in the moment that I'm in, it's hard to feel any pain. Think about it. If you're dancing and you're singing, in that moment your body is loose, okay? You cannot get up on the dance floor and be stiff, right? When you dance, you loosen up your body, right? And in that moment, that is helping you from your stiffness. Because the rest of the day, I hold my body very stiff from all my trauma and all my emotional pain. But during that 3 to 5 minute video, when I would get on and doing karaoke, I would get lost in the video I was doing. I get lost in the song. I get lost in the story. I was someone else. I wasn't Sandra Lee Wyllie, borderline personality disorder, a big loser who, makes no money on her YouTube, even though she does YouTube videos constantly 7 days a week, who has a severely invalid, handicapped son who's brutally beaten, whose husband's been out of work for many, many months, and we can't make ends meet, who is like traumatized from childhood. I'm not that anymore. I'm in character, so when I'm doing Hungry Like the Wolf, I'm dressed like a wolf, I'm painted like a wolf, and I come on and I'm a wolf. If I do something else like one of Madonna's songs, like a virgin, then I'll be dressed all in white and like I'm a virgin. I'm a young virgin who, is untouched. And so I play the character. I get lost in the role I'm doing. And that is very therapeutic. But you don't have to just do karaoke. Any kind of art form, whether you're a painter, you draw, you do drawings, or whatever you do for your art, you can get lost and absorbed in it. And it does alleviate the trauma. Maybe you're a makeup artist, and you use your creativity to create something. Because I always say that my creativity is like, it's blossoming buds. The little buds on the trees before the leaves appear. In the beginning of spring, you see these little buds on the trees. And then when I'm into my role doing my creative work, I'm like blossoming. I am blossoming inside, like a little bud on a tree, like I'm flowering. And that's very helpful and very productive for me. And it gets me out of my headspace, For that short time, I'm out of my headspace. And I highly recommend it if you have suffered trauma in your life to have a creative outlet. Now, back in 2010, before I had any involvement with YouTube at all, I started writing. 2010 is when I started putting all the pain inside of me into words. And then I put those words into a poem, into stanzas. And I started writing. And then from the poetry books, I started writing books about what actually the SA involvement with these psychologists, what they actually did to me in graphic detail. Some of these books are very, very graphic, what I went through. And that helped like pour out. It was very therapeutic, that writing, because you put down in paper, you pour out. It's like a purging, like a catharsis, It's a cleansing. You're pouring out all your pain into paper. And what is really helpful to me is that other people read what I went through. And then I feel a deep connection with people through my art, a very deep connection. Like today when I did my live video, I felt a very deep connection with people because I was sharing myself with them and they were sharing themselves with me. And some of them were artists, others were like, they gained sobriety, 8 years sobriety, and I thought that was awesome. But they're sharing themselves and I'm sharing myself, and it's building this connectedness through the art, through the art media, I'm building a connectedness with other people. And this is helping me heal. So try it yourself if you're suffering from trauma. Try writing it down, journaling it. You don't have to publish it if you don't want to. Try starting your own YouTube channel. It's amazingly helpful. You can do anything you want on YouTube. Anything. Whatever you want. Makeup tutorial. You could do gaming. I mean, it's endless. Cooking. It's endless what you can do. Doing a YouTube channel is very good, especially for someone over 50 years old. Because you have a lot of knowledge. You have a lot of insights. You can help a lot of people. And at the same time, you're helping yourself. And you're reaching out to people, and they're reaching out to you, and you're connecting to other people. I've seen a lot of different YouTube creators. One man is like superb doing. He has weapons. He does guns and knives and swords, and he does tutorials on a lot of things. You know, on how to start fires, and I think it helps the person. It like sprouts out. It helps the person from where the wound is, from where the scars are. Buds blossom out and start to bloom. And this is why artists, if you look into all the great artists like Vincent van Gogh, all right, all the great artists have suffered mental pain and anguish. They have suffered with mental illness. And through their art, look at Starry, Starry Night. Through their art, they have expressed that suffering and that trauma and that pain. And it has been healing and beneficial to them. And it has been healing and beneficial to other people through the artists, too. So I started that in 2010, the writing. And in 5 years ago, what was that, 2020, I started doing the karaoke. And through my writing and my YouTube channel, it has helped me immensely deal with my trauma. And I come on and I talk about my trauma with other people. And I share myself with other people through my art. Through my art form, I am sharing a great part of myself. I hope that has helped. I can't talk much more because I'm losing my voice because I've already talked an hour and a half on my live. If you missed the live, please catch it on the replay. If you'd like to buy any of these books, the links are below in the description. If you'd like to help my channel, you can always buy me a cup of coffee. That's down below too. If you are new to my channel, welcome, welcome. Please hit that subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. That way you'll be notified each and every time a new video of mine comes out. Give it a thumbs up. Like it, share it with your friends, your family on your social media platforms. You can always email me. I'd love to hear from you. My email address is down below too. Leanne, LEEANN827@hotmail.com. I hope to hear from you. Remember, if you missed the live, watch it on the replay, okay? And I love you, Karen. I hope that answered your question as how I got started on my art and how it has helped me through my traumas. And let me know if you're an artist or a YouTuber and you have a YouTube channel. Let me know how art has helped you heal and what you do for art. And until next time, have a great